I feel like even with hair like this, where you look like Fabio a little bit, and where you're like super buff, and you have divine inspiration for the words that come out of your mouth, because clearly you have proven the Holy Spirit is there for you. To Gracie, it's still hard to get Gracie, so I have to explain my credentials a little bit to Gracie. I have to tell her a little bit about myself. Like, I did go to college and stuff. I went to Baylor, but I grew up in Boston. I didn't know I was in Boston. I thought I was in Bakersfield, California. And I thought that all I did as a child was play baseball, and that's all my parents really care about ever is baseball, and that's all that matters in the entire world to my dad is baseball, because my dad played for the Big Red Machine. This guy is a person that was in the audience for Michael Scazzarelli at the Little League World Series, who was the pitcher, who was like the hero pitcher. And he sounded exactly like me, even though he looks nothing like me. But I do remember they gave me tanning oil for when like I was a kid and all I did was play baseball. And I do remember like we were supposed to go play in a baseball tournament in Cooperstown, New York. Like, it's very hard to explain how I know it's me. And my dad played for the Big Red Machine, but he broke his leg sliding into second base. He's definitely not Johnny Bench, like literally Johnny Bench. So my age was changed by sex traffickers. Here's a picture from when I was 16 years old. Here's now. Clearly you can see how much bigger I am. Like, that's not a full-size person. And so, but I was still pretty athletic as like a 5-year-old. You never believe a 5-year-old can play against 12-year-olds in the Little League World Series, because he's a junk pitcher, but he still hurts his arm because he makes bad decisions with like working out and stuff like that. He's a little kid that takes steroids and works out all the time. So after the Little League World Series, I moved to Colorado and I became a fake gang member. Like, I remember when I was like a little kid taking a puff of weed and like falling asleep in the backseat of a car, but I was like 16. Like, I took one hit and I just like, I'm just going to go out to the car. And I lay down in the backseat of a car. And I remember like when I was 16 years old driving to San Antonio and my girlfriend like dry humping me and grinding on me and like hurting me, like riding me in my car. Like, I'm in a Ford Mustang and she's on top of me riding me. And I'm just saying, like, that's something that you can't do when you're 16 years old and you're 6 foot tall with a girl who, I don't know how tall Shelly is. But like, a lot of my memories are like, my girlfriend and I live together. We're sleeping on a twin size bed together and we don't really notice how small it is. Because we're actually that small of children. And I don't know if you saw Pixie McNarls. This is Pixie McNarl's twin. I think she's like in Russia or something like that, but she helped me figure out that she's a little person. Like, she proved she's a little person, because I knew she was a little person. But when did I know Pixie McNarl's? I graduated from college. I moved to Austin. I was in the insurance business for a few months. And then I moved to San Antonio. I was in the drug and alcohol education business for the court system, in like shoplifting education business for the court systems. And I for like a year, and then I went into the marijuana business for a year, like probably like a year in Colorado, almost like probably like 7 months, but like 7 months plus some time. And so like I had started Dispensary Nature's Way, and then that business is now High Country Healing. It's my brother's friend owns it. But when I was in Colorado, like before I even started college, like, so like when I was after college, I knew Pixie McNarls. I had no idea she was a little person. And like, I can like see someone be like, oh, I know that girl. And it turns out it's a little person every time. And they're like, and these people are sex traffickers. Like, that's what the Epstein documents is about. It's about kidnapping people. And you'd never believe they'd kidnap a little person like this unless you know how cute she is. Like, she is actually like physically attractive. But like, what's disturbing is like the type of person that like pays to get her as a sex slave. What I've explained is that like, I had no idea it was a genius, and that they are confusing genius girls about their ages because they sell them. Like, someone like Gracie could be for sale, and she doesn't know that her parents are con artists. Like, my sister, it turns out, is a con artist, and like I'm not, I don't know, I'm kind of disappointed in her, but like, she's not exactly like the nicest person, unless like, but like her family, you don't know how much I love my family. It's like, I know. But so I was in honors college at Baylor. Or I was in the honors college there. I was in the Baylor Interdisciplinary Corps, and I did religion. And then I stopped believing in God because like my pastor got electrocuted in front of the entire church. I was in David Crowder's church, and and I also had a problem with the problem of evil and stuff, and I stopped believing in the theology. I thought it was like impossible. Like what I had to believe to be a theist was like not true. But I was also so small and I was brainwashed. But I also just like, it's like the Bible was so silly sometimes, and there was no way I could actually like accept it. And then I kind of just like got the balls to be like, no. And so I haven't been religious for a long time, but then I became a hippie, and like I kind of like rejected like wealth and stuff like that. And I was a little bit of a Buddhist, and I kind of walked around with no shoes on all the time. And I like lived in the forest, and I'd like be naked with hippies and stuff. Like this is when I like met her, and like I played music, and like, then like I kind of got like inducted in the mafia, like, or into the Rainbow family, like the mafia side of it, like the drug side of it a little bit. And I got scared of those people, and I like got away from them, and I kind of ran away, and I was like, I'm not going to sell drugs for you guys. You guys have too much heat on you. There are too many cops on you guys. There's no way I'm driving drugs for you. Cause I kind of thought, well, I mean, how many times do I have to drive drugs? Like I didn't like think like your whole life will always be driving drugs always. You'll never stop driving drugs ever again. But it didn't matter because I ran away anyways. I was like, I don't care about money. I'm not doing this. But then like I got home, and like, it was like, yeah, it's us. We're doing it. And, then the NSA was on me, and they were scaring me pretty bad. So I did a hunger strike protesting the cops, like, giving kids free drugs and stuff, for like 47 days or something like that. I was like in Santa Barbara mostly. And, then after my hunger strike, I moved to Texas, or I had already moved to Texas, and like I left Texas and went to Santa Barbara. Like I always go to Santa Barbara and back. It's my whole life is going to Santa Barbara and back. And so I was a mafia person, but I was playing music all the time. And like I think I was like actually probably kind of famous a little bit when I went to Santa Barbara, because like people knew me like as like a musician. I was Glass Roads back then. I don't even know if I was Crystal Streets yet. So after I was like a gangster in Colorado, I was like a Crip folk, but like I was tied to the Mexican mafia, and like we gotta kill people and stuff, and like we need to go rob people and stuff, but we never actually do it. But like I'm a little kid that takes a puff of weed that probably should just go to bed. And, but I don't know, I'm a little kid because like I'm a grown ass man. I do drugs. I think I might have tried meth twice, but yeah, I'm addicted to that stuff. But cause I do actually think I craved it a little bit. Anyway, so, I got in trouble for shoplifting because like they trained me to shoplift, like hardcore. You don't know how hardcore they train the kids to shoplift. And so, I ended up getting sent to Mexico to a boarding school, and it was like radical, like what they do to the kids. It's the same boarding school that Paris Hilton went to that she says is child abuse. I know it was child abuse, and they hurt some of the kids more than others. And I think I had no idea how long I was there. I think I speak Spanish because it was like we weren't allowed to speak English there, and like all I did was memorize words. But like we made up Spanish. Like we only did like Spanish words in English order. So like I didn't learn Spanish like really at all until later when I got Rosetta Stone, and I learned it a tiny bit, because I didn't keep doing it. So anyway, so after that I moved to Texas, and, my friends were Christians. Like it was a TBN pastor named Del Way. He has a song, "You're Where I Belong." And so like we went to his church, but like it was like kind of a con artist church where they're like faking miracles and stuff like that. And I saw him fake a miracle with this guy, Ricky, at Discovery Camp in Columbus, Texas. And I was like, no, I've got to go to Max Lucado's church. And so like I ended up in a Bible study with Max Lucado. I was in another Bible study with Max's agent, and Max was kind of my hero. And I wanted to be a Christian writer at that point. So like when I was going to Baylor, I was like, I'm just going to be a Christian writer. I'm not going to be a pastor. I'm hooking up with girls like every single day, like a new girl. Like all I do is like not do sex. Like all I do is mess around with like a new girl like every single day. Like I can't be a pastor. I don't know how to be sexually pure, but I can be a writer. Like I can help them. Like I can help people. Like I didn't know I was smart because I was 5 years old. And I went to 4 high schools. Like I was constantly bouncing around, and I graduated in San Antonio, and then I went to Baylor. And yeah, I already told you about Baylor, where I studied religion, and I studied a lot of neuroscience. and I got a degree in international studies and a minor in religion. I met Pixie McNarls when, like, after I had graduated from college, and then, like, I was in the marijuana business for a little bit, and then I moved to Old Colorado City, and I was always in Manitou for a year. And I don't even know if I lived in Old Colorado City at that time, because I might have lived in the forest, because my lease was up, and I had no money. And so, like, I ended up, I saw her playing guitar on the street corner, and I hung out with her for like a day, and she didn't live there. She lived in Telluride, and Telluride was too far. And so, yeah, so that was it. So, then after, like, I found out about the drugs and stuff, I came back to Texas, and like, I was like listening to Pandora, and Oasis said, "We're going to start a revolution with your band." Like, and I had been writing a lot of music. Like, I had already written Every Day is Sunshine, and like, but like the music was like very gangster type stuff. Like, it was like confirming stuff in real life a lot. Like that, like, the shades mean certain things, and like red and yellow, or black and yellow, and like a lot, like, these people knew the same sort of like drug things like I had figured out. And I started to figure out about neural interfaces and stuff like that. But like but because I started to think I was going to start a revolution with my band, Glass Roads, I spent a lot of time writing music, and I became Crystal Streets eventually, like by meeting a DJ in Austin for that song "Time to Dance." Yeah, I met that guy in Austin. I was like, oh, I should rap, and so like, but like what happened is, like, I started noticing like I was kind of famous because like people knew who I was, like, because like in like Nashville and stuff like that. And they knew my music, like, but then like I had like no views, like, and I even had -1 views once. And like in my head, I was told that they were censoring my views, and they weren't letting me know how famous I was. And like people did know who I was, and I got really confused about it, and like I got mad about it for a while. But then I still like needed to make money, and so I went to grad school for computer security, and I got a master's degree from UTSA, but it's like a business degree. It's like a very frustrating type of degree for someone that's like the smartest person in the world, because it's a group project degree. Like, yes, like everything you do is like, it's time to do a group project. Great. Well, he's going to do his part. I'll do all of our parts really, really quick. Please just let me do our parts. Is basically like what it's like for like the smartest person in the world at UTSA. But I didn't know I was the smartest person in the world. But so yeah, I studied cybersecurity a lot, and I got into engineering security, like robot security. And I got into like a lot of cryptocurrency type stuff, and I just didn't understand how difficult this stuff I was doing was. But I was having a lot of weird things happening with spying. Like I was catching a lot of hackers. I will never doubt that like this girl gets a Java update, and I check to see if there's a Java update coming, and there's no Java update. So during grad school, what happened is I was writing the software to do computer security forensics, like on like memory, and then like, I don't know what happened with the NSA. Like, I think that like I caught their hackers or something, and like it was like a weird situation, like where my brother was there, and I think I told my brother that I caught him, and I explained the hack a little bit. And then the NSA showed up, my boss invited me to a meeting, and it was like the whole NSA. And like, I'm pissed off at these people because they're censoring my communications. Like, I know I'm famous. Like, why am I, but like, I don't know how to explain how pissed off I am at them because they ambushed me. Like, it's not like, hey, you're going to meet with the NSA. It's more like, what's going on here? Well, we want you to do a project for us that you don't know you can't do until afterwards, where you start to research. And it's like, wow, you just want me to find out that I'm not very smart? Like, is that like, you go to the guy from UTSA who's kind of like not even a 3.0 student at Baylor, and you want to like prove to him he's not smart, because apparently I'm that freaking smart. And like, I felt like it was like it's like oh, you think you're smart kind of project. And it's hard to explain how that situation was to me, because like I know that they know who I am, and they won't talk to me. And so like, I didn't want to do the project, and I didn't do the project. And I think I like pissed off some people by like not doing the project, because like I was busy. I was like trying to do like SCADA security and like robot security, like factory security. And like I was trying to do like cryptocurrency type stuff. I was trying to do like pipeline security for like oil and gas and stuff like that. And so and I was doing a lot of like big data research, machine learning type stuff. So like they wouldn't give me data. Like every time they like give me a project, it's like, here, you can be smart. you can just guess what the data is. Like, and if you're a data scientist, it's like, are you like, you want me just to like figure out the physics? Like you want me to go do physics experiments without pipelines, and then like you won't like even give me like numbers to like go figure out like correlations and stuff. So I ignored the NSA and I didn't work for them, and I like continued my work on this like blockchain stuff that like I was like a second year in college student trying to apply like principles from cryptocurrency to cybersecurity, and like I didn't even know how to do. I couldn't even do my own servers back then. Like I was like not a network engineer back then, and like I feel like I was in over my head a little bit, and so like after that, like my brother wanted my dad, my mom, and I to move to Colorado. And I didn't get the situation, but like I knew I was taking care of my dad who had dementia pretty bad. Like I wouldn't let him drive. Like I was his driver all the time. Like I was always checking on him. Like I was really like my dad ended up losing his job, even though he owned the company, and so we all moved to Colorado, and I started catching people trying to kill my dad, and no one believed me. The police didn't believe me, and then I got arrested and I went to jail, and my dad died in jail. And after jail, I found out my dad is Private Joker because he's the Duke. I'm talking about Full Metal Jacket, the movie. Like his name was Duke in Vietnam, and he trained in North Pole, Alaska. That's where he did his. And they say in the movie, I don't know what I've been told. Eskimo pussy's mighty cold. The Marines in the movie, he was actually Army, and that's a different dad. That's not Johnny Bench. That's the guy that told me that like they did a lot of like evil shit in Vietnam, like you don't even know. And if you notice, Full Metal Jacket's probably about kidnapping Vietnamese girls. So my dad got Alzheimer's pretty bad, and now he's dead. And I went to jail for 10 months, and now I've been on probation for it feels like almost 4 years now. Yeah. So when I say that the NSA like showed up to my office and wanted me to work for them, who all showed up? It was like the chief technical officer and like 4 station chiefs and like a Navy guy in a uniform, but like everyone was wearing suits. And my boss, who was a former military police person, and this guy that was a professor that looked familiar a little bit, but I wasn't sure. But he's like a malware professor. I don't know. It was a lot of people that were like high up in the NSA, and they literally told me like Donald Trump wants you to work for him. But like the thing about me is like, no, I did not agree to work for Donald Trump. Like it's really hard to explain. Like if you know me, and like I was always with Taylor from like it was like he had worked for the FBI a little bit, and I think he'd worked for the NSA, and now he's working for the military or something like that. And like if there's anything I had been clear about is like I won't work for Donald Trump. Like, I don't work for Donald Trump. Like, and like, I didn't know I was even smart back then. But like, no, I don't work for Donald Trump. Like, and like, I feel like the whole situation was like, everyone's afraid of people catching hackers. And like, I realized like how hard people try to like make sure that people can hack people. And then there's all this theft going on. Like, if there's anything that we've all learned is that the Europeans, like the English people have been like stealing bank account information from so many different people in the Americas. And we can't stop them, but like the guy from the mafia is definitely doing our security, and he has to make sure that there are holes in our security. And like, and I know the English guy that ended up working for the company, like doing security for the company that I used to catch the hackers that I thought made the NSA show up. Because like it felt like it was like intimidation, like you can't do computer security anymore. And it's like, well, I'm doing defense. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like now I can't do like secure. Like I have to fake like I don't know how to catch hackers. Like I want to catch hackers. Like, and like you're saying, like just like you can have a degree in security, just don't actually do security. And that's kind of what happened. And so like, yeah, it's turned ugly, but I think it was supposed to turn ugly because like my age is wrong, and like these people know my age is wrong.